Okay, I haven't done a video in a long time. I've been having some sinus issues, so my voice sounds a little funny. But I'm going to do one nevertheless because this is about the election coming up, and I just wanted to express myself as much as possible regarding the events of this election and my thoughts on what has transpired. So I have been very perplexed at the entire Trump phenomenon, as many people have. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. There are certain things I don't understand in life. I don't understand smoking. I don't understand professional wrestling. And I don't understand the interest in Trump. But strangely, I think that the professional wrestling I mentioned before has some sort of correlative factor with the interest in Trump. They might be sort of the same type of thing. In fact, I regard him as, and I have always regarded him this way ever since I've known about him, as a bullshit artist, carnival barker. The guy's just completely full of shit, and he's the most full of shit person I've seen in politics, and that's saying a lot. I mean, you know, he makes Bill Clinton look like the all-time truth-sayer ever in the history of politics. But what, you know, there's the fascination with people that are on the right with Trump and people that want to put this guy into power. But the really perplexing thing is the people that are on the left. And the way that they're equating the two candidates is baffling to me. I can't see it. So what we have with a lot of people, I mean, I've seen this on some of the YouTube channels and such, the Young Turks, and I believe it's Secular. I can't remember the name of the channel. The guy's name is Kyle. It's Secular something or other. Anyway, they make this false equivalence between Trump and Hillary, and I think it's just the hate that Hillary gets just makes me, and I'm not a huge Clinton supporter. I never have really liked the Clintons all that much for a number of reasons. But given the circumstances, I mean, we really don't have any choice but to vote for Hillary Clinton. And in fact, I will say that this is the most clear choice you could ever have. Now, I understand some of the arguments, and I think a lot of this is just people being upset that Hillary beat Bernie, and there was obviously strong favoritism towards Hillary in the DNC, and that they view that as sort of a cheat, which I understand that. However, the people voted the way they voted, regardless of whether the DNC supported Hillary or not. So you can make some sort of case where it wouldn't have happened had the DNC acted favorably or fairly to both candidates. I just don't see it that way. I think that people supported Hillary because they thought that she was the best candidate overall, for the most part. So I get that there's that frustration there, but you just have to throw that aside. Now, some other arguments are that if we get Hillary in there, then she's just going to flip and then start moving towards the right, moving towards the Republicans, who are obviously at this point fractured between very right wing and batshit crazy right wing. But this false equivalency is insane itself, and I don't understand it. You can't do this. I mean, Hillary has she's not the perfect candidate. There's no such thing as the perfect candidate, and this is not Normally in every election you go, oh, this is the lesser of two evils, lesser of two evils. I'm just going to vote for the lesser of two evils. This isn't even the lesser of two evils. This is just, you cannot let a guy like Donald Trump get into this massive position of power. You simply can't do it. Now, think about the equivalency that you're presenting here. Trump wants to see abortion outlawed. He thinks women should be punished for having abortions. His running mate agrees with this. His running mate's done a lot of real crappy things too, but I don't have time to go into that. He thinks climate change is a hoax created for the benefit of the Chinese. That right there, in and of itself, we can throw every other thing out the window. We can throw all the misogyny, all the racism, all the bigotry. We can just throw it out the window. All these horrible policies, throw them out the window. That in and of itself, that fact right there is a deal breaker. You cannot put this guy in power. But moving on, he thinks the best way to deal with immigration is to spend billions building a ridiculous wall. Let's don't spend billions on infrastructure that we need. Let's not do it on something that actually is going to do things for people. Let's spend billions of dollars on a wall. Oh, and if you're just stupid and naive enough to believe him when he says that he will get the Mexican government to pay for the wall, I feel sorry for you. You're a moron. Moving on. Oh, and by the way, if they really wanted to solve this problem of what they perceive as immigrants coming into the country to take away jobs that Americans would otherwise have, or driving down wages, or whatever that argument is, you could do that very easily simply by putting the onus on businesses, which we're already doing to a large extent. But they could do it to an even greater extent, and you would alleviate the problem. Alabama proved it a couple of years ago. Look it up. The other thing that I wanted to say about that was most people aren't aware that the overwhelming majority of what are called illegal immigrants in this country they came into the country legally. They just have they've overused their visas, and their visas have expired. So the majority of the problem isn't people coming over the border illegally. So moving on, he wants to reinstate torture as a part of foreign policy. Now, I know a lot of the right-wingers are for that, and that's why they're voting for him. But the left-wingers, why are you not? That should be a deal breaker also. I mean, this is just deal breaker after deal breaker here. He has made many, aside from the anti-science statements he has made about climate change, he's also made anti-science statements towards vaccination procedures. He wants to implement a policy of bombing directly family members of terrorists, wives and children, war crimes. He wants to implement this as a policy. He has made statements regarding our nuclear weapons, and if we have them, why aren't we using them? We should have the option of using them. He sees no problem at all with nuclear proliferation, apparently. So all these things are, and I could just keep going, of course. I haven't even brought up all the misogynistic statements, all the horrible things he's done that would otherwise have disqualified any other candidate. Making fun of a disabled person, things of that nature. This guy is just not a good guy. And the funny thing is that the evangelicals are overwhelmingly supporting him. which shows you clear and plainly, finally, as if we didn't already know it, but these people don't really care about what they claim to care about for years and years. They claim to care about the character. The character of the candidate was the most important thing. So if you really think that all the problems with Hillary Clinton equate in perfection to the problems that I've outlined, just a few of the problems that I've outlined with Donald Trump, I think you've lost your fucking mind. In fact, I think this whole entire country has lost its collective mind. I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, I cast my vote already. It may not matter in the state I'm in. It may. We'll see how things turn out. I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I say that proudly. I don't think she's going to be a horrible president. This is status quo versus idiocracy. So, personally, I don't want idiocracy. I'd rather have status quo. Now, I'm someone that thinks we should change things. I'm someone that thinks we should definitely change our economic structure. We need to get to a steady state economy at some point. And this involves a lot of things, which of course I won't go into now, but I am someone that thinks we should change things, and I recognize that Hillary Clinton does not, she is not an example of someone that's going to radically change anything. But we can, because of the Bernie movement, there is some structure there, and we can force her hand perhaps a little bit. But we cannot let someone like Donald Trump get in power and potentially wreck our civilization. Thanks.